Families and friends, please remain standing for the Wofford College senior class of 2020.
Members of the class of 2020, Parents, grandparents, family members, colleagues, students, and other friends, welcome to Wofford College for the celebration of the class of 2020, finally. All right! It has been a wonderful weekend. And I imagine, like Saturday morning, maybe Sunday morning, have left a few a little on the tired side, but it's great to be here in cool, sunny weather. We're grateful to be here today in person to celebrate this special class. The entire Wofford community has looked forward to this celebration since the spring of 2020 and the summer of 2020, and regret the toll that COVID-19 has taken upon us all. On this and many other significant occasions in the past year and a half, it has touched friends, family, in our community, across our state and our world. Now, the Reverend John Marion Adams, senior pastor of the First Baptist Church of Easley, South Carolina, and father of Joshua Marion Adams of the class of 2020, will offer the invocation. After the invocation, I ask that you remain standing as student Laura Mitchell leads us in Wofford's traditional commencement hymn, From All That Dwell Below the Skies. Reverend Adams?
As we begin this service of celebration, let us give thanks to God, the giver of all gifts. Shall we pray? Almighty God, we ask for your tender guidance this morning as we gather in this august setting to celebrate the vibrant and resilient class of 2020. A delayed graduation is now becoming a realized celebration. A pandemic did not have the final word. We give you thanks for alumni, administration, faculty, support staff, graduates, and their families and friends who persevered to make this day possible. As we celebrate, may we give thanks for this community where memories were made, relationships were formed, minds were challenged, and faith was deepened, all of which has shaped us into who we are. May we lean into the present, knowing more than ever before that this day, even this moment, is a gift to be treasured by all. Thank you for this day. May we take hold of hope, genuine and authentic hope, a picture of your future for us that sets in motion the power of the present. May our lives be a sign of your love to this broken world, that unity may overcome estrangement, forgiveness heal guilt, and joy conquer despair. May we so order our lives that we may be a strength to those in need, a counselor to those in perplexity, a comfort to those in sorrow, and a companion to those in joy. Walk with these graduates throughout all of their lives. May they shine with honor, your honor, in the name of the one who is and was and is to come. Amen.
Let the Creator's
In the words of that great ballad by Crosby, Stills, and Nash, it's been a long time coming. We could not be happier to have this opportunity to celebrate you, to thank you for your patience, and to welcome you into the Wofford College Alumni Association. We are grateful to have found a time when so many of you could return to campus for reunion, celebration, closure, and reconnection with your college, our college. Your class has been defined in many ways by resilience and loss, but today is about celebration. So we are very happy that you are back on campus, here in front of Main Building, where you should have been sitting in May of 2020. We have toasted you. I hope you've tried some of the cocktail and mocktail recipes celebrated during the last 20 days of the 2019-2020 academic year, because I know many of my colleagues did, and I know Prem and I tasted every one of them. You've already received your diplomas and your bohemians. We've enjoyed hearing about your success over the past year, and we've thought about you often. Because you are the class of 2020, we will always think about you, and as we depart today, we hope you will always consider the Wofford campus to be your home. Thank you for returning today and for giving us the opportunity to celebrate you. So cheers to you, class of 2020. You've made us proud. Now let us call upon Provost Tim Schmitz and the chair of our Board of Trustees, Chris Carpenter, to come to the podium for a few recognitions.
So nice to see you all here. In addition to the pandemic affecting our ability to have important occasions of the last semester of the senior year of your Wofford experience, we had 9 members of the Wofford faculty who retired after long and productive careers of teaching and mentoring. Unfortunately, we were also unable to properly offer them the recognition they so deserved at that time. Those great teachers, Dr. Terry Ferguson, Dr. Sean Forbes, Professor John Lane, Dr. Frank Machovic, Dr. Doug Rayner, Dr. Alliston Reed, Dr. Peter Schmunk, Ms. Christy Sellers, and Dr. Dino Trakis departed the full-time faculty of Wofford College at the end of the 2019-2020 school year, having fulfilled a combined total of 269 years of service, which is amazing. We are sorry they are not all able to be with us this morning, but we welcome back Dr. Alliston Reed and Dr. Dino Trakis and express deep and profound appreciation from a grateful college community to you and your 7 colleagues for such rich careers of service. Drs. Reed and Trakis, please stand and accept our appreciation. Will the marshals please escort Sydney Marie McHugh and Layla Carmen Shearer to the stage? The honored graduate, and in this case graduates at Wofford, must be intelligent, disciplined, and committed to working hard each and every day. Such is the nature of the academic enterprise at a Phi Beta Kappa liberal arts college. The 2020 honor graduates each earned a 4.0 grade point average, and both were inducted into Phi Beta Kappa. Because of the signal importance of academic achievement, we have chosen these distinguished members of your class to receive this special appreciation on this special day. Friends, I present the 2020 honor graduates of Wofford College and ask that you join me in congratulating them. Now, Board Chair Chris Carpenter.
Members of the class of 2020, family members of the class, and fellow members of the greater Wofford community. Let me also extend good wishes and congratulations on behalf of the Wofford Board of Trustees. We are indeed pleased to finally be able to celebrate you. At its meeting just concluded in the last couple of days, the Wofford Board of Trustees voted to take special action to honor this distinguished class of 2020. With unanimous approval of my fellow trustees, I am pleased to announce the creation of the Class of 2020 Endowed Scholarship Fund, with seed funding provided in recent days. This fund will become a permanent part of our endowment and will be open to additional contributions as time goes on. We will work with your class leaders to develop parameters for awarding the scholarship from this fund in the near future. And we hope over time that this fund will become a truly significant and memorable way to honor this very special class at your alma mater. Congratulations to all of you.
The college leadership is deeply indebted to the officers of the class of 2020 for your considerable input in the development of plans to celebrate you all this weekend and for your good spirits, patience, and willingness to help spread the word as plans developed. Each of the officers has prepared brief reflections on their respective Wofford experiences, and I am pleased to turn the podium over to them at this time. To start is President Kernesha Williams, and she will be followed by Alec Conrad, Braden Tuttle, and Connor Crease. Kernesha.
Good morning. Y'all miss me. Oh, y'all miss me. I know. Okay. He said brief. I don't know what that was about, but I miss you all. I miss each and every one of you dearly. Reflecting on my time at Wofford and preparing for this day wasn't the same, knowing that our time was cut short here. But I'm so blessed for the time that we shared together this weekend, because I had fun. Y'all had fun. I had fun. But when I reflect on my time at Wofford, I don't think about the classes or the schoolwork or the naps I took. None of that, okay? I think about the people, the laughs, the memories we made together, the tears we cried together, the football games and basketball championships, and omelets with Miss Kathy. You know, all the good stuff. I could sit here and go on forever and ever, but I won't. All in all, Wofford is such a special place to me and will forever be in my heart. And it's because I got to share this campus, my temporary home, with each and every one of you. I love you all so much. I hope you're being safe, and I hope that the moments we shared here together will only continue as we navigate life outside these northern borders. Thank you.
Hey. Okay. First of all, it's good to see you all. I think I'm speaking for maybe all of us when I say I didn't know if this would ever happen, but I'm so glad it did. It just means a lot. So when I think about Wofford, I reflect on big events like homecomings and spring concerts. But as much as I think about these big things, I really remember ordinary days too. Each Monday, walking with some of my best friends to Olin for campus union, Burwell or Zach's with friends, walking to class and being late because you're talking to teachers and you're talking to your friends, and sort of everybody just gets it. Spending time in the library or going to office hours, weekends that sometimes started on Wednesday and ended Saturday. Wofford really meant, though, spending 4 years with my best friends and getting a great education from a college that I couldn't be more proud of. And there's really no amount of words to put what this place means to me and what all of you all mean to me. So I'm glad you all came back, and it's been a great weekend. I can't wait to do it again next year.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to see you all. So glad to see everyone. Like Alec was saying, can't really believe it's happening. So good to see all the classmates' faces. The fact that we're back here right now, it's been a long time removed, but it's fantastic. And I will get into my speech so I don't ramble on too much. But when I remember Wofford, I remember the memories made with classmates. I remember our class picture on the steps of Old Main right behind us. I remember eating steaks at Camp Greystone. I remember snow days on campus. I remember late nights of milk in the library. Not too many of them, but they happened. I remember functions and formals and other various theme parties. I remember the late night Burwell breakfast. I remember sharing Wofford with family at Parents Weekend. I remember taking a trip to Jacksonville to see the Terriers play in the big dance. I remember spring weekend and spring concert. I remember celebrating friends getting jobs and getting into grad school. I remember the last weekend on campus thinking we were about to get a 2-week spring break. I remember knowing we were all in the good old days before we ever left them. Thank you, class of 2020.
Good morning. So Wofford has certainly provided me with a high quality education, just as it has for all of us. We don't have to discuss the many late nights spent in Milliken or the obscene amount of caffeine consumed over those 4 years, just to prove how challenging it was. But more importantly, my experiences at Wofford have taught me more about community and relationships than ever thought possible. From interactions with Mr. Chris and Ms. Tawanda, who helped make Marsh Dorm livable, God bless you, to the everlasting friendships created within dorm room walls, on runs around Spartanburg, on the tennis courts, and supporting Wofford athletic events, and the other various avenues Wofford so graciously provides, I never felt as though I belonged elsewhere. To make others feel so loved and comfortable within one's presence is truly beautiful. And I think if anybody were around the events this weekend, they would have felt a lot of love, a lot of comfort, and a lot of beauty. So as I continue to grow, both personally and professionally, I can only hope to be for others what Wofford and this community are and continue to be for me. Thank you.
Precious in my sight. so good to see your faces. Can't begin to tell you how much I've enjoyed the past 36 hours around here as you have come up and smiled and given a fist bump or a hug or a handshake. It's been fun watching you bump into each other and be surprised and scream with joy. It's been wonderful to be here on this campus, to be here in this town as you have made your impact this weekend. From the college's end of things, there's been one person in particular whose mission and purpose has been for the last several months to make today happen, and most of you have been in touch with him. That's David Beecham, and I want us to recognize David, who has worked tirelessly. David, please stand. Thank you, David. Okay, class of 2020. Let's look back just a moment. The year most of you were born, the biggest movie in the country was Titanic. I hope that's not, well, never mind. Seinfeld had its last show, as did Friends, the year you were born. Apple released the iMac. The cereal Oreo O's hit the shelves. I don't think it lasted very long. And perhaps the most impactful event the year you were born, other than your birth, was that Google became a thing. Fast forward to August of 2016. You moved into the residence halls down the way. I'm always curious as to the music you're listening to. That year it was Rhiannon and Drake, Shawn Mendes, who was born the same year as you, Dierks Bentley, Miranda Lambert, and Chance the Rapper. Mostly, though, you brought with you a variety of emotions and anxieties and expectations. And on your first weekend here, as you gathered inside this building, I asked you to look to your left and to your right. And I told you that these would be the people who would help you through. Look to your left and right now. I told you the truth. We're glad you're here today. These are the people who helped you be here, and now you know their names. Names are important. In fact, it won't be long before you'll be coming back for reunions. You might have already had a high school reunion or had one delayed, your 5th reunion. And when you go to your reunion over the years, you'll be challenged with remembering names. A while back, I attended a high school reunion. I have a few years on you. But Keith was there. Keith was the guy who made the second grade the most miserable year of my life. We were on the playground one day. I picked up an acorn, and for some reason, I bit into it. And Keith walked up and he said, "You know that'll kill you." What? Eating an acorn. That'll kill you. When? You never know. Keith. Ronnie was there. Ronnie was a good guy. He was always helping people. He was the kind of guy who dusted the erasers for the teachers and cleaned off the footballs at football games. But he used to embarrass me when we were in school. We would pass in the hall and he'd always go, "Hey, me and you, we got the same name." I wasn't sure I wanted to share my name with Ronnie. One day in the 10th grade, Ronnie climbed a rope in gym class, and he got about halfway up, and he got scared. And he said, "What should I do? What should I do?" Keith was there. Keith said, "Ronnie, spit on your hands." So Ronnie let go the rope to spit on his hands, and he came crashing down. I probably shouldn't tell you this, but Ronnie got up and, well, he showed Keith that he was not appreciative of the advice he had been given. And we all enjoyed that very much. Ronnie was at this reunion, and so I said, "Ronnie, you're always helping people. What are you doing to help people these days?" And he told me. And it was a litany of things. And when he finished, I said, "That's a lot of work." And he said, "Yeah, I know, but you got to show folk you love them. They need it." And then he looked at me and he said, "Hey, me and you, we got the same name." And I realized for the first time in my life, I was glad that Ronnie shared his name with me. Class of 2020, me and you, we got the same name. We are Wofford graduates, and we will always share that. So what does that name mean? Well, it means that you and I, like those before us over the past 165 years, have come to this place with viewpoints and beliefs and hopes and dreams and questions. Some of those hopes and dreams came true in this place, and others did not. Some of those convictions that we had were deepened in this place, and other things we came here believing we no longer believe. Some of the viewpoints we held, we still hold on to, but some of our viewpoints were changed. While you were here, you had some of your questions answered. You reframed some of your questions, and you came up with new questions. I heard about some college students who were at the fairgrounds walking through, and they met a little girl carrying a gigantic fluff of cotton candy. It was almost as big as she was, and one of the students said to her, "How's a little girl like you going to eat all that cotton candy?" And she looked up and she said, "Well, I'm really much bigger on the inside than I am on the outside." It's my prayer that a Wofford liberal arts education has made you bigger on the inside. Whenever I hear 2020, I think of vision and I think of clarity. But neither you nor I nor anyone else could have envisioned what happened as you neared the end of your college career. I remember the Sunday evening before the message went out, changing everything. Several of you here today gathered with my wife and me for dinner at the Kennedy, and we were sitting there speculating about what might happen. Would spring break be extended? Would we go home early? We had no idea what was to come, but later that evening, the message came. We would be going home. Spring break was going to last a little longer. There was uncertainty about what would happen in the longer term. The next day, Monday, as people began leaving campus, I stayed late, and when I left my office here in Old Main to walk to my car, I could see the lights roam over in the baseball stadium. Now, by that time, the baseball team was having one of the best years any Wofford baseball teams ever had, and there were high expectations, but now they were going home. I just made my way down to the stadium and watched from a distance. And I could see the players shagging flies and running bases and talking to each other. Maybe I imagined it, but it was kind of like they just didn't want to leave. Can't this last just a little bit longer? We went home. I received a lot of 2-sentence texts from people pretty quickly. "We're going to come back, right?" Sometimes the texts seemed more like a command than a question. "We're coming back, right?" Of course, none of us knew. And those first few days unfolded into a week and then weeks, and then we designed the opportunity for us to finish the year online. I received a ton of emails then. "Don't you have any influence with the administration? Please let us come back, even for just a few days." Denial is, of course, a part of grief. You had expectations. COVID took a toll on those and many other very reasonable expectations. I want to talk about the word toll for just a moment. It's a word with multiple meanings. A toll, as you know, is kind of a tax that you pay, a price you pay. Some of you have an easy pass in your car so you can get a discount on the tolls. Anytime we imagine the future one way and it doesn't work out that way, that initiates a grief process. We imagine ourselves with a certain job or living in a certain place or having a particular relationship or even having a certain kind of experience as we conclude our college careers. And then it doesn't work out like we imagined. It takes a toll. COVID took a toll. There was a costly price in terms of lives lost, experiences missed, and expectations unfulfilled. We want this morning's experience to be uplifting, but we would be neither honest nor people of substance if we fail to acknowledge the toll it has taken. Then there is the tolling of a bell, which has to do with the telling of a message. The word toll and the word tell not only sound similar, they mean about the same thing. For centuries, bells have been used to communicate important moments, to summon people together, or to disperse people for a particular person. Bell ringing is an important part of many rituals. I noticed on Wednesday when the astronauts boarded Blue Origin, right before they got on the spaceship, they rang a bell to begin their journey. The commentator said, "It's a Blue Origin tradition." I suppose you can claim that something's a tradition when you've done it twice. Anyway, they rang a bell because, as the Blue Origin employee said, we want to make some noise. Wofford has a 166-year tradition of tolling bells. I think we can use the word tradition there. You know that tradition. We tolled the bell for you the first weekend you were here. We tolled the bell for you the weekend you graduated. And even though you weren't here, a few of you actually showed up. We still tolled the bell for you, and we streamed it for you. And then, of course, you know that we toll the bell each year on All Saints' Day, and we read the names of those who've been part of our community who've passed away. We'll do that this year, and we'll remember a student who began his career with you, though he graduated a year early, Timmy Phillips. We'll call his name that day. That's our tradition here, and we say what matters is how you live between the tolls. Well, in a moment, we're going to toll this bell yet again for you, the class of 2020. And each person who has earned a degree from Wofford during 2020 will have his or her name called. Provost Smits will begin by reading the names, and then others from the faculty who, like you, share the name Wofford graduate will come and continue reading the names. That will continue without interruption as the bell tolls. Class of 2020, you're going to receive an extra toll. Let me close with this. My father was an engineer who worked on highways. Whenever we would go on vacation, we would occasionally go to a place where there was a toll. It was perhaps across a bridge or on a highway. Every time we would come to a toll booth, my dad would pay twice the toll. And the toll keeper always looked confused. And my dad would say, "Just keep it." And they would say occasionally, "Well, okay, you just paid the toll for the person behind you as well." Once we were on, Alec, I think it was a West Virginia turnpike. And we got there, the toll booth, my dad paid twice the toll. The toll keeper looked puzzled, and then we drove on. And I said, "Dad, why are you paying an extra toll?" And he said, "Because they need it." Class of 2020, today you are receiving an extra toll because you need it and you deserve it. God bless you. Provost Smith.
Pause just a moment while my colleagues join me on the stage. Marco Antonio Acevedo, Joshua Marion Adams, Abigail Claire Albritton, Caitlin Elizabeth Allison, Mason Daniel Allstat, Lucas Matthew Altman, Erica Marie Andrade, Brett Walker Andrews, Elizabeth Jane Armstrong, Rabier Edantre Armstrong, Lauren Page Arnold, Jordan Brenneman Ashby, Carter Barron Atchison, Andrew Christopher Bach, Samantha Lauren Baker, Sarah Margaret Baker, Ayodeji John Balogan, John Bosco Bapupele, Milton Orlando Barrientos, Justice Stephen Scott Wolfram Bassinger, Gray Edward Batten, Megan Lyle Beck, Susan Caroline Benson, Nicholas Businia Barajo, Keisha Jewel Best, Zainab Kuzum Bagat, Sarah Elizabeth Bidwell, Rhett Sumner Billings, Maddie Elizabeth Black, Kyle Sullivan Blair, Cameron Tyler Blake, Mary Alexa Bone, Michael Brooks Bach, Tad Mateus Bonds, Caro Nico Booker, Kelly Marie Bossert, Austin Taylor Bowen, Angus McKay Brabham, Jennings Leanne Brackett, Miller Ingram Bryce, Abigail Young Britton, Ronnie Anthony Brooks, Michael Allen Brown, Turner Elizabeth Bryant, Connor Michael Burdick,
Joshua Timothy Berger, Alexandra Marie Burgess, Cameron Damaris Burke, Kayla Ray Burris Lim, Michaela Teresa Burton, Lillian Leah Butler, William Nicholas Butler, Hudson Green Byrick, Rebecca Lauren Bird, Joseph Matthew Caldwell, Anna Caroline Capps, Allison Kennedy Cardew, Alec Matthew Cargan, Mariana Ozell Carreno, Luther Frederick Carter, Haley McKenna Cassidy, Lucas Javier Sibeli, Alexander Pennell Chambers, Bali Kaur Chana, Cody Weston Chavis, Julian Chausa, Virginia Reese Clark, Callie Ann Clark, Brooke Ann Cleary, Vivian Camille Coleman, Owen Augustus Collars, Alexander Joseph Colley, Grayson Elizabeth Collier, Elizabeth Vandegrift Collins, Chandler Pope Compton, Joshua Robert Congdon, McKenna Grace Cook, Peter Hugh Jameson Combs, Ethan Patrick Koval, Eleanor Quinn Crawford, John Patterson Crawford, Catherine Taylor Chronister, Austin Alexander Daddario, Megan Chandler Daniel, Donovan Kyle Davis, William Bryant Davis, Robin DeBro, Nolan Lawrence D., Megan Caroline Dempsey, Thomas Jackson Dextrays.
Carly Teresa Dilt, Samantha Jordan Dorward, Mackenzie Love Dotson, George Wells Dukas, Virginia Woodson Dudley, Mackenzie Patricia Eden, Joseph Richard Elam, Carrington Elizabeth Ely, Zachary Tyler Ellison, Matthew Joseph Elmeyer, Omar Khalil Elmore, Keely Lane Ingalls, Roger Thomas England, Anna Parrish English, Zachary Reese Epting, Diana Giordani Escamilla Fuentes, Lydia Evelyn Estes, Spencer Chase Evans, James Edward Fant, Morgan Ashley Ferries, Sydney Catherine Farley, Nico James Farrar, Janie Felice Cabrera, Ayana Natalia Feminella, Sadie Muriel Fink, Isabel Grace Flack, Claire Elise Flaherty, Christian LeClaire Fleshman, Joseph Reed Foline, Calder Douglas Folks, Connor Bradford Funderburk, Julia Nelson Funderburk, Eric Leland Gaines, Khalil Amar Gamble, George Harris Gabisi, Elias Gus Giancanopoulos, Walker Hammond Gibbs, Edwin Alexander Glantz, Reeves Alexander Goethe, Alexa Elise Golbus, Ashley Laura Golbus, Chavez Branford Goodwin, Robert Julius Gustel, Robert Leslie Graff, Sydney Gianetta Grant.
William Douglas Gray, Deja Kimura Green, Claire Christiana Gregoire, Evan Michael Grenis, Hunter Gray Griffin, Edward Macmillan Griffith, Jamie Elizabeth Grob, Olivia Elizabeth Grosse, Margaret Ann Grossman, Calvin Lynn Geyer, Carson Elizabeth Heigler, Hannah Tess Hall, Jonathan Maston Hall, Casey Herring Harcourt, Mary Baxter Harlow, William Jack Harper, Elizabeth Vaughn Harrell, Jacob C. Hahn, Abigail Bryn Heldreth, Jacob Logan Hirschman, Mary Elliott Holman Hester, David Waters Hickman, Jason Lamar Hill, Jordan Nicole Herner, Elizabeth Grace Hollingsworth, Ryan Robert Thomas Holmes, Reagan Alexandra Hood, Nathan Wayne Hoover, Eli Aaron Horner, Adam Michael Horton, Carson Thomas Howell, Stephen Brett Hucks, Della Hobson Huffins, Tally Grace Inman, Robert Chapman Jackson, Zane Stewart Jackson, Kyle Alexander Jameson, Zachary Lewis Gerald, Blake Michael Gerasati, Duncan Leek Jones, Ruth Abigail Jones, Nicholas Stephen Karras, Benjamin Davis Carricker, John Joseph Keene, Shiraz Ahmed Khan.
Caroline May Kilgo, Larissa Lynn King, Kern Elise Kinley Howard, Mary Claire Kinnis, Alec Daniel Conrad, Jackson Keith Kozlowski, Barbara Mills Kratt, Connor James Crease, Effie Caroline Kropp, Hayden Olivia Lancaster, Emily Giles Laney, John Childers Lansing, Natalie Haynes Lassiter, Elizabeth Marie Leatherman, Taven Kai LeBlond, Lawrence Seth Ledford, Laurel Ann Lee, John Franklin Lassane, Adam Lauren Linder, Dorian Tyrell Lindsay, Elizabeth Jarrell Lindsay, Abigail McLeod Logue, Luke Colin Turner Lovell, Anna Christian Lyles, Samantha K. Lyons, Freddie Omar Madrid Marquez Jr., Shivani Rajesh Mahajan, Michelle Nicole Malsh, Thaddeus Zacchaeus Mangum, Reese Vincent Maniscalco, Lyden Taylor Manning, Michael Eric Manning, Elizabeth Tien Markham, Maritza Merrick, Brian Matthew Maroney, Rebecca Marie Marciali, Grace Lee Massengill, Melanie Mary Ellen Matters, Charles Razor May, Annie Beauchamp Mayfield, Michaela Grace McBride, James Mitchell McCracken, Ashley Wright McCreary, Madison Joanne McCreary, Wyatt Peyton McDonald. Rebecca Arlen McGahee, Shannon Kate McGrath, Mary Catherine Macaulay McGregor, Sydney Marie McHugh, Mary Lassane McIntosh, Summer Lynn McKenzie, Edward Brode McMillan, Avery Morgan McMillan, Caroline Ashton McWhorter, Charles Grantham Melton, Addie McRae Meredith, Maxwell Stephen Middlestadt, Neka Chika Mogbo, Fatima Abbas Mohammed, Caroline Rose Montgomery, Hannah Parker Morgan, William Blake Morgan, Cassidy Laurel Morton, Christian Miller Mosley, Samuel Ethan Muniz, Liam Patrick Murphy, Hannah Grace Much, Benjamin Ray Meyer, Daniel Charles Myers, Abby Lynn Nance, Sarah Elizabeth Napper, Kathleen Cress Newstetter, Joseph Amos Newman, Taylor Tone Wynn, Michael Benjamin Nickel, Ashley Jordan Metz Nieheis, Hannah Gordon Nye, Jordan Ashley Novak, Joshua Noel Nunez, Jordan Obina Wanagu, Vera Leanne Candia Oberg, Erin Catherine O'Connell, Susanna Carlisle O'Haron, Elizabeth Keeley O'Keefe, Eugene Joshua Olney, Logan Chase O'Quinn, Andrew Thomas Orzel, Margaret Wells Olstein, Kendall Beth Otto, Edgar Ulisser Ovoye Mayers.
Reagan Elaine Owens, Samuel Victor Padula, Raish Jaish Pandia, Madison Willow Paraskeva, Cameron Darby Partridge, Rui Pranay Patel, Nathan Vikram Patnam, Ella Ruth Patrick, Isabel Marie Patterson, Brendan Earl Pearson, George Turner Perrin, James Young Perry, Noah Andrew Phillips, Peyton Tyler Phillips, Emily Diana Pinto, Caroline Quinn Poncha, Mason Sulzberger Poole, Johnson Fegan Pope, Kara Elizabeth Porter, Austin Elliott Powell, Margaret Hampton Prochaska, Charles Daniel Pruitt, Holly Caroline Rains, Mary Grace Holmes Rainsford, Michael Sean Ralph, Margaret Newsom Randall, Anne Louise Dorothy Rang, Nicole Ann Raupius, Emma Clay Reaney, Dimitri Cly Redwood, Garrett Malone Reinhardt, Jenna Casey Rodenham, Andrew Luke Riazzi, Yara Nicole Rishmawi, Peyton Lance Robertson, Walker Shepard Robitcher, Erin Marie Roshan, Brett Anthony Rodriguez, Taylor Marie Rogers, Hannah Noel Rollins, William Owen Ronan, Sam Ross, Bailey Renau Roden, DeLacy Louise Pickney Rowland, Carrie Fran Ruff.
Rachel Hannah Rutkowski, Liesel Noel Rutland, Daniela Semniego Gonzalez, Andrew James Sargent, Lauren Elizabeth Sarno, Colin Reed Sharling, Taryn Alyssa Schoen, Olivia Louise Schreibman, Jack Grayson Circus, Kara Michelle Chaclet, Caitlin Renee Sheely, Leela Carmen Shearer, Hawkins Stillwell Shepard, Emmanuel Anatoly Shulikov, Jack Richard Sicker, Davis Walker Seamus, Bradford Langston Smith, Hannah Catherine Smith, McKenna Marie Smith, Marvin Gerald J.J. Smith, Peyton Donovan Smith, Andy Joseph Snow, Thomas Novell Stack, Walter Gerald Stevens, Ashley Lynn Stewart, William Burton Stewart, David Chase Storch, Robert William Stout, Francis Harling Stowe, Ulysses Straughter, Trevor William Stump, John Michael Matthews Sullivan, Sergio Abraham Sum Munoz, Lauren Mackenzie Summers, Grace Heathcote Tankard, Jonathan Tarkane, Kaylin Siavash Tavasoli, John Walker Taylor, Marianthe Catherine Thalasinos, Donovan Lavelle Thiem, Sydney Megan Thompson, Catherine Niels Thordahl, Micah Rossiter Tiffin, Matthew Cole Timmons, Austin Brandon Tuggle.
Sydney Leah Turner, John Braden Tuttle, Charles Camer Tyson, Andrew Philip Ulrich, Carson C. Vihinger, Maite Michelle Velasquez Hernandez, Andrew Peter Visconti, Alexandria Megan Wallach, David Nelson Walker, Ross Poteet Walker, Mackenzie Rain Walters, Lauren Junie Wannett, Chloe Ray Wanink, Kendall Alexis Weaver, Robert Bernie Webb, Dylan Michael Welch, Hagan Marie West, Marshall Derek Westbrook, Emma Caroline Wheatley, Marshall Allen Wicker, Julia Louise Wiles, Kernisha Nicole Williams, Wellen Carol Williams, Mary Hannah Willingham, Caroline Grace Wilson, Datavius Dupree Wilson, Leah Camastra Wilson, Mary Stewart Wilson, Rofi Jaira Wilson, Clay Stephen Wingfield, James Gannon Winters, Andrew Carl Wyron, Stephen Jeremy Wise, Christian James Wommeldorf, Alexander Michael Wood, Jishi Yan, Sarah Sumner Yarbrough, Joseph Michael Zavell, James Blakeney Zemp Jr. Please join me in saluting this very special class of 2020.
Please rise, all, please. We're going to have the blessing of the class of 2020. Three quick things. One, following the blessing, I ask you to remain standing for the singing of the alma mater. Laura Mitchell will lead us. You will note that the words that we sing were written by a member of the class of 1920. Following the alma mater, we ask the marshals to escort the class of 2020 on the traditional walk through the college gates through a gauntlet formed by the members of the faculty and staff. And thirdly, please, everyone, join us for lemonade on the lawn and Toll House cookies, symbolizing the extra toll we have today as a tribute to the class of 2020. Class of 2020, may God bless you with discomfort at easy answers, half-truths, and superficial relationships, so that you may live deep within your heart. May God bless you with anger at injustice and oppression and exploitation of people, so that you may work for justice and freedom and peace. May God bless you with tears to shed for those who suffer, so that you may reach out your hand to comfort them. And may God bless you with enough foolishness to believe that you can make a difference in this world, that you can do what others claim cannot be done. And may those to whom love is a stranger find in each and every one of you a very generous friend. Amen.